Not do or die yet, but you do not want to be going into the last day of the Swiss format trying to secure a place in the playoffs. So we kickstart Clubhouse for this one. Liquid will be starting on the defense, and indeed, it is their map pick.
So Flores and Montang to kick off the bans for this first map. Monty very prevalent in general, but especially on club, there's a lot of set plays centered around the shield. Flores as well can be really good for util clearance, especially if his army is to sneak through this defensive ban phase, which will be the case. It's the double hard breach denial off the board, bandit more prominent top floor, and then you have Kaid for basement. And so with that, we should see the teams freed up on attack a little bit more. We'll see how that impacts inside of the server itself. To clarify, Secret will kick off on the attack, and so onus will be on them to have a strong start and set the tempo for this matchup.
Just a quick note as well, I guess it's kind of interesting to have a look at most played operators over the last 2.5 months on Team Liquid. For Lagonis, you know, obviously shield player with a lot of blitz, a lot of Monty, but for me it's the dynamic with Thermite on this map that I'll be very interested to see whether or how they decide to juggle that. Obviously two very important, crucial parts of Clubhouse in general. You've got your shield play nowadays, which once upon a time might have just been a little bit of a classy pick. Classy is probably not the word I'd use, but Thermite obviously a mainstay in so many lineups. Obviously you can bring multiple other operators to substitute for that, but something to keep an eye on for Liquid once they swap to the second half. Secret starting on attack, setting the pace hopefully. Again, I think that this realistically should be a good match. 4th and 5th you said overall in the global standings?
Yeah, in global standings.
Yeah, interesting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever cast a game with such high standards.
This might be the greatest game of Rainbow Six you will ever cast from.
It is. It's certainly the greatest we've ever cast together, I can tell you that much. I think the last time we cast was like 2021, some Korea international event. But we keep our attention here. Important match, qualifying match, it's always fun.
So top 4 down for Doom. The Brava in play, and those clutch drains will be a rather effective tool in this round, especially in the face of the utility presented by defense. You have the Yoko drones from Palu, the F-Not mines from Nask. Both of those, if you're able to take them out of play, or even steal them for yourself, of course, could definitely be helpful. Default cameras as well. That is Doom controlling that default. Watching down long and short, and he'll look to progress forward. Again, with the Kaid band out, opening up the hatches here is pretty easy work for the attack. Liquid identify that, they're pretty eager to sit back. Doom trying to hack some of that utility, but ultimately is shut down, so good awareness from Liquid. What are your thoughts on this round so far, Rob?
Look, you know me. I'm a masterclass when it comes to analysing this game. I have knowledge that you just would not be prepared.
You can't even put it into words.
It's honestly, it's just one of those things. Look, I do expect a little bit of pressure down toward blue. Why is that? Because that's where the observer's gone to.
I promise that's the one and only time I will throw you under the bus. You are doing me a favour. I didn't want to have to solo cast this.
Well, it could have been a lot worse, Michael. It could have been a lot worse. I could have flown Dev over to cast. Shout out Dev Martin, not here at the moment, but you know he's always good. This will be interesting. A little bit of attention across the church side. The opening kick for Secret. Nice little trade in amongst the mix. Savage holding down the line. And in for Secret at the very least. Early here in this map.
Yeah, a bit of a stack over towards short now for the attack. As Savage will attempt to plant. 40 seconds on the clock. Denial to come through, but it may be too late here from Lagonis. Smoke canister not even landing on the mark. Savage still 79 HP and able to collect them. Not that we saw any of it. No fault of the observers. Liquid walking in one by one.
Oh, wow, that
lining
sucks.
up there down long. And that's a clean opening attack.
Yeah, that one sucks. A lineup even behind the smoke canister. It is what it is. Here's my statistical analysis.
I will say, as I
breakdown.
started the end round play-by-play, I was like, oh, crap. Rob,
Here we go.
Rob might be in stride.
Now we're really going to have to do it. I don't know. I guess impact of, no wall denial whatsoever. You don't really have a lot that you can face check toward church either. Once that anchor on site is gone, I think it was Nesk on his army, you really don't have enough of a control there. it kind of just opens that side of the map, and that you don't have lines of sight through to either default plants. That's another big issue there for Liquid. The second Secret get into sight, there's not enough to deny them. Smoke canister comes in too late. It's too little. It's too late. But I guess Secret, they are setting the tone. I think that's pretty decent timing from them. I think that they found picks at what, maybe the 40, 50 second mark. So, colour me interested in this match, Michael.
Well, it is 435th in the world.
How do you even cast games like this? Jeez, you guys,
Great under pressure.
You are the best of the best.
I think, especially with how the operator bans have played out in that last round, probably reflective of that expectation is that I think defensively, the big win condition is going to be all about plant denial.
Yeah.
But with limited wall denial, especially on like a site like basement where it's even worse, being able to deny the plant is critical. We just didn't see that pressure be good enough for Liquid. They also didn't play the Warden in the previous round, and they won't play it here as well. And so expect the Ying to continually be quite a threat as well. No Ying here for the second round, and no luck from Ruby on the drone. But the Cap Tower is in play, and so with that smokes, typical utility belt that can be used to clear rafters. Main breach, again, pretty easy going for the attack, but that's the nature of the bans. 2 minutes on the clock, and Liquid aren't going to look to play overly aggressive. Meanwhile, Shock Drone getting to work over towards Garage, and that a valuable tool in dealing with the Goyo canisters. It is a 2-stack rafters here from Liquid, so identifying that this is a position in which they really want to hold. Try to absorb as much of this utility as possible. Bolts are coming through though. We'll see how Liquid reacts.
Oh, wow. Ness trying to go a little deep there, gets caught out. Surely doesn't sit in the fire and flames. He will live just on the brink of death. They hold Rafters control for a while longer. Secret didn't put any attention there after they found Nesk, so maybe happy to sit back and play a little more quieter while they wait to see what Liquid do. So many times we see at this point in the round, you've got to get aggressive on the defense. You've got to try to even things out a little bit. So Secret may be hoping for something, a pitfall from the defense to open things up.
Yeah, I thought Mayer's position would go unchecked, but there was a yellow ping there over towards Rafters, so he can now be cut off, especially from this main breach. And the line is held by Virtue, who's had a very strong tournament thus far. Has been a standout player, especially when some of the other fragging power on Secret hasn't been at 100%. Virtue's always been rock solid and consistent, really a hallmark of his long career as a whole. 4v2 though for Secret as they look to wrap up this round. Still double nitro though in play from Liquid, so don't rule them out.
Canister right by the side as well. That's going to make things a little more difficult, so it burns a bit more time. Secret with 4 players on the board, they've got a lot to work with here. But they've got to dodge these C4s. They've got to start burning them out. 25 seconds. They're still not in yet. Bonus. That's preemptive, but it's big.
Oh, there was a drone inside of Cash. 20 seconds on the clock. Palu's position is known. Nitro lobbed. Not successful though. But the shots are. But so too is Virtue. He's better in the 1v1. Wins that fight out. Big one for Secret.
Well done, Michael. Good, great play-by-play.
Well, it wasn't great. I said 1v1. I think it was still technically a 1v2. I meant more so the 1v1 duel,
on-site,
right?
yeah.
And it was actually a big fight to win. I don't think that was a particularly favourable fight, but yeah, still able to win it out. 2 straight for Secret.
Yep.
And Liquid, again, I keep talking about the win con being plant denial because wall denial is almost impossible. Again, falling short of the mark.
Well, these bans just make this map so critically, I guess, just important that you find other ways to slow the teams down.
Yeah.
Like right now, you have no options there. You have Kennel's wall open, you have Construction wall open, you have the entirety of basically Garage being contested within the first minute and a half. And Liquid just, like, yes, they've got some things to deal with it. You know, obviously the dock stimming, it's fantastic. But when Nesk has to swing downstairs, it just completely opens things up. And then you've got, what, a minute 25 left on the clock where Secret are just kind of poking and prodding around the map, waiting for a reaction from Liquid. And hopefully we will see these defenses come up with some innovation, come up with a way to slow things down. Maestro. So Gym Bedroom, I mean, God, if you think it's not fun playing without wall denial over the World Cash CCTV, you enjoy this side. My God.
Yeah, this is where split theory is going to be really critical. Secret will want to open up as many of these walls as possible and then assess their options going forward. They do have the hard breach, and so with that they can open Jacuzzi, CC, Con. Won't be that hard.
It's just a no contest. Or
yeah, there is the Zodo, but
yeah, okay, they have the tube over the ward.
Again, it's in the grand scheme of a 3-minute action phase, it doesn't really waste that much time.
And he's already used a second Zodo, so have fun now, Liquid. But I guess that you just have to turn your attention elsewhere. You have to find other ways to try and mitigate Secret and early access to the sides and early access to the ground floor. Well, I shouldn't say ground floor, I should say second floor here, but it looks like they're going to put a bit of attention from ground floor up, maybe clearing over toward red stairs. They're getting a little antsy toward the top of red, but opts to back away for now. Secret decently stunned out to begin with, at least across this side of the map. Things could change very rapidly, though. This is Army over toward rafters. That could really burn some time. Is that going to be a swing? Oh, do it for me. No, that's all right.
Wouldn't be the best play. Oh, Maya was repositioning over the Brewer's Breach. So you can see Liquid looking to aggress. So instead of maybe looking to double down in terms of plant denial, they've gone the other direction.
Does Secret know? I feel like Secret had an inkling because they've just all decided to move across to the other side of the map, resets. That's what you need to see from a player. That's what you need to see from an anchor. And still C4 in pocket as well. I mean, 3 versus 5. Okay, well.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Secret tried to go rather direct through Jim. Off the back of getting stalled on the map clear, so...
I feel like they had to have known that there was reaction from Liquid there. Like, the second you saw 2 players head toward Cal, or at least a third player, a third member of Liquid kind of take attention across from construction, across from site, move across, well, thank you very much. You think it's a little freer, but I'd love to see that from Reset's perspective. What's he done there? Just unbelievable. But they'll take their time here, Secret. They'll use it as a tack timeout, a way to start to really isolate what they can do. Guess, you know, there's really wasn't enough pressure early on in this round, so Liquid were able to stall out.
I will say, Rob, this veto has been very friendly for you.
I'm telling you right now.
Pretty much the 3 oldest maps in the pool that you all know and have casted before.
I'm telling you right now, people don't understand.
Imagine we had like a Lair or a Labs or something. You'd be absolutely screwed.
As a caster, I would be quite lost. I would be quite lost. Doesn't matter how much I've been watching the game, playing the game, it's still... There's nothing quite like commentating. And I can say that to everyone. This is the B stream, so we're going to get real with you for a second here. We're going to be real with you. I tell you what, it's not fun coming back to cast after 3 years and trying to find your feet again. But I'm actually enjoying it. And Michael, I couldn't think of anyone better to do it with than Lynx.
It was a better round from Liquid.
It's much better. There's much... question, is it better from Liquid? Is it just lacking from Secret? Because...
Nah, I think it was Liquid.
Yeah?
The map extension was really good. They didn't give anything away for free.
I guess if Resets doesn't hold for 2 on site, then
yeah,
the whole conversation's different.
Yeah, he loses that or even gets traded, it could have left them quite weak on site.
There's only one other player anchoring on site, so realistically, Resets has just saved the round there. There's Jacuzzi wall open, you had Gym window being contested.
Yeah.
God knows what happens. I mean, that's Secret having the entire back half of that site there. Like, good luck retaking that as well.
Well, Liquid went for a pretty aggressive map extension in the previous round, and I think they're emboldened now to give up on plant denial and instead really lean in to these extensions. So we will see the full castle roam employed. Complete top-down defense.
I think a team just won a round on A stream. I don't know.
No, I think that was just Liquid getting really excited for this mirror trick.
Well,
which
didn't
really even work.
We have fun here.
Is able to rotate that over towards Cash though, and so Liquid will double down on their efforts here on top floor. We'll see then if Secret look to approach it more directly, the side itself, and ignore this roam. And this body language from Doom indicating that may be the play.
A lot more direct this time, and there's no way Liquid are going to be able to hold this off. What, 1 player on site? How are you going to do this? You've got 2 players coming down main. You've still got attention over towards Secret. Ooh. Lovely shot from Doom. That is a great reaction. There's a player from Dirt that's been able to walk in with the kit. Liquid are locked out of sight for now. However, they have found crucial kills.
Yeah, they have the man advantage. We'll see what kind of read they have though here. Lagonis down main, one spotted short. able to collect that headshot onto Groovy. And now it's Joom, all alone. They tried to go direct, and whilst they got the plant down, Liquid on retake, far too good.
Yeah, I'm not going to oversimplify this, but I am. Losing your ones on a retake is never going to allow you any room to move. I mean, if, you know, at the very start of that fight, whoever that was coming down main, if they lose that fight, one, you've got no pressure toward the backside of main, and two, the rest of your players are coming from blue. So all of a sudden, your attention completely changes. I like it from Secret, though. They're identifying where these issues are arising. They're just not executing
They've
well.
literally gone for pretty much the same strat in back-to-back rounds, both teams, right? Liquid went for the extension back on Gym, whole map, or whole second floor at least. They did that again in the most recent round, where they went for a basement through the second floor room. Secret, back on Gym, tried to have a single player exploit, get in towards site, force the retake, and whilst it wasn't quite as successful as it was in the last round, it was the same kind of idea, right? Where Secret identified, there's only one on site. Unfortunate to lose the first pick, and whilst it was a snappy trade, it then just gave that small opportunity in the midst of all that chaos for Liquid to go for the retake. They were successful in winning out those fights, did a really clean job in identifying where those remaining attackers were once the diffuser was on the ground. And so, whilst I don't think strategically it was really that abhorrent from Secret in the last couple of rounds, execution just fell short. And Liquid able to really exploit those advantages.
Oh no, oh no. Oh, that would be, oh my god! Virtue's so lucky to be alive. He knows it as well. Gray screening out. I mean, that's a tilter.
Yeah, it should have been a kill.
That is an absolute tilter. And now Secret are going to have to be even more cautious on this clear. If they decide to do so, who knows? They may just continue to go direct and hope that eventually it works. I guess they go with the motto, if it is broke, fix it.
Yeah, it is bar for the 5th round, so a bit more of an unorthodox selection here from Secret, or from Liquid rather. And Secret will need to find a way to break this down. Contact stock. Nesk survives, but this Vigil continues to be a threat.
That's the beauty of Nesk now. I mean, if you give Nesk a bit of a license here, that can really cause a lot of problems for Secret. Not only a sharp player, but, you know, just then having to kind of check every last bit of detail as you're entering this map. It's not going to be fun.
Yeah, Nesk over the last few months does have the worst cost.
Love that.
On Team Liquid, 61%. But if he can get on a bit of a roll in this match and remain consistent, he would be a threat. Meanwhile, Secret now have control up above. Savage on the buck. Use that skeleton key to create lines of sight. And if you are wondering where I got my stats from, Rob, I'm looking at the last 90 days, just for context.
No, that's... Well, thank you, Michael. I really appreciate that. You didn't make sure
okay,
you
didn't have to do that.
Statistics.
I don't speak like that.
I was actually having a look to see what operators Nesk has been playing recently.
You did sound like Jesse, but you did not sound like me.
Yeah. It's a bit of a stab toward one of the greatest casters to ever touch the game, but that's okay. Shout out my analyst of SI 2024. I stand for him. Well, stand for trades as well. Liquid probably come out the better there because you've got 2 players low. Nesk knows it as well. He's been left alive. He's been left to roam. He's been left to be an absolute nuisance. And Secret, well, are they going to be able to pull that thorn out of their side? We'll wait and see. Savage just goes direct. A little bit better from Secret here. They haven't opened up much of this site. They haven't opened up much of this control.
Yeah, and Reset's still lurking over towards, oddly, Secret itself. I think they have a read on this, though. Secret on the attack. And Virtue comes in for the pinch. Yeah, so 2 below is Savage, but he will fall as well. 20 seconds on the clock, and Resets finds his 3rd in the round, the 2nd in the spray. And Virtue on 14 HP. Left to try and clutch this one up. He's been good this tournament, but with 10 seconds on the clock, surely not good enough to win this one out. Headshot with the pistol. 10 seconds on the clock. Hardly enough time to get towards the itself. Maya on Lagonis can sit back and wait. Maya with the swing and the UMP for the final kill. Team Liquid keep the good vibes rolling.
Not only the good vibes, but just their adaptations. They figured out in the first 2 rounds, okay, we're going to have to play this game differently. We are not going to be able to play this like a typical defense on Clubhouse. We can't sit back. We can't go for plant denial. We're going to have to get in their faces. We're going to have to get aggressive. We're going to have to extend. And right now, Secret are really struggling to deal with it. Liquid are looking incredible And if they can keep this on a roll, I mean, I'm really keen to see how Secret play their defensive half now. Now that this is what we've seen, how do Liquid now approach this once we flip sides? Because it's all well and good to sit here and praise them for the 3 rounds on defense, hopefully a 4th here. But then we can start to isolate the conversation a little more and start to ask the meaningful questions, which I will allow you to do.
You ask the questions and I shall answer.
Yeah, well, that's what I hope for. I mean, that's basically the premise of my entire job, Michael, is ask the professionals the right questions. That is literally my job. I don't have a job to do anything else. Maybe say hello to the audience and goodbye to them, and that's it. It's a very it's a simple farmerman's life. That's what it is. I take my stock every morning and make sure that the cows are well fed. I just keep people happy.
Gym Bedroom. Round 6, final of the half. Triple hard breach in play from Secret. So they will be looking to open up every single wall.
That was satisfying.
And the Habana to open up every single castle barricade. Mirror is in play. Potential for an impact check, although that probably won't be likely with Myra only having 1 in the pocket. So that's Jacuzzi dealt with. And so far for Secret, not really too much to complain about.
Well, now they do.
Right.
Now they've definitely got something to complain about. That's the lying down as well, which can be a pain in the backside for Liquid, especially when they're extending, and extending as far as they are. Not that they're extending incredibly far, sorry. It made it sound like they were just all over the map down in basement. But now they're going to be careful. Secret are starting to suffocate around this map. They are going so much more direct than what we saw earlier. Now, early pick here, which just continues to hinder Secret and their attack. More direct here as they find 1 back.
Yeah, minute 45 on the clock. Virtue still stranded outside. Kit in hand, so too Savage alongside on the Habana. Prompts a rotation, potentially for a Logi drop to try and pinch out this position alongside Groovy and Con. Exothermic will, of course, give away this play. And Virtue just as confused as you and I.
Looks like a bit of overkill.
He might drop with the pallets. This could be a play. We'll see how Paolo reacts. He's in the firing line.
Well, the problem is, pretty much everywhere Secret wants to enter, its entire chain. And Liquid have the numbers here. Nesk with a very early C4 finds 1. And it's all done and dusted. Virtue was not allowed entry into logistics. And Liquid continue their fine form here in round 6. 4-2. 4 on the trot as we head to the second half.
Yeah, that's a really remarkable turnaround from Liquid. It became evident very early on in that half that sitting back and being reliant on Plantanar was not going to be the play. And so they adapted. They spread their wings, played very aggressive around the map, even in the face of hard breach style not being available outside of a mute. And it was really effective. Secret tried to exploit pockets of space. There were very few opportunities, and even the ones they did present, they weren't able to convert.
I would love to hear the comms right now. Attack timeout at the half switch, guys. I don't think I've seen that ever.
Quite rare.
Like that is something that I mean, for me as a viewer, unprecedented. But also, you know, there are many games on at the same time. But that is such an intriguing time to take it. Secret lost 4 rounds in a row. Clearly, they think that there was no point in taking attack in that half. Otherwise, they would have done it after maybe 2 rounds lost, after 3 rounds lost. Now, we get to see what kind of impact coaches can have. We can start to see what the inside of Secret looks like and how they're going to approach this. I can already see one operator that has changed dramatically just from the first half. It's been brought at the very start of round. Oh yeah, round 7. I was going to say second half, then I got confused. I lost
Well, to be
This is
fair,
why I don't do it anymore.
The attack timeout before round 7 is enough to throw anyone off, because typically you would use a tactical in response to what you've already seen in a round of that half, right? Very intrigued to see what that may translate to inside of the server and in terms of the operator that you're mentioning. I'm assuming you're talking about the Blitz, right?
I am talking about the Blitz, thank you
Look at
very
that
much.
synergy, incredible.
I whispered it under my breath. I shouldn't have. I should have said that with a bit more bravado with my chest, Michael.
I'm going to say Jake would never do that.
No, but Jake would also be talking about some of the rarest
He is a rare unit.
I love that, man. Shout out, Jake.
Jake.
Hope you get better from the man flu.
Jake Xenox Vendidi.
We're here for you, mate. Make sure you just stay away from me for now. Despite what people may think, I actually don't start working until Friday.
Hey, you have somehow scammed the system
Mate,
with 2 work days.
This is just the way it happens.
You'd be flying home in your private jet.
So
Maybe your business class upgrades.
I'll hit up
on the
Taylor
cards.
Swift on the way over. Well, I'm very curious to see how Liquid decide to attack this and how they decide to approach it. Lobby presence to begin with. In Secret, I'm not going to lie, I was talking way too much smack with you. I haven't seen whether they've extended. They've got 1 player upstairs.
2.
2. Oh, okay. Well, that's not fantastic for Liquid either. That's the Deimos as well.
Yeah.
Ah, that's rough.
Which is going to make the roam clear more difficult. And the Blitz is dead, so the round is over.
I mean, like, on an extended roam on a basement site, there's your win conditions
Well,
gone.
Liquid are trying to do exactly what Secret did, which is completely avoid the roam, and they haven't even gone into sight, which Secret rather were able to achieve. So this has been a little bit of a disaster.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay, there you go. That's one way of doing it. Liquid, they bounce back nice and quickly, and now things start to open up. Though, there's a player still in cash. This is pretty devastating, Michael.
Yeah, well, I think Jim might be in a bit of strife here. About to be flashed out. Candela in hand.
No! It gets worse.
You're kidding me.
Like your day, bad to worse, Guz.
Yeah, I've had to endure a couple of APAC losses today, and now I have to cast with you, so it's been awful. But for Secret, this first map may be even worse. A round that should have been theirs is flipped very quickly. A little bit of luck for Liquid, but we'll see if they can convert. 3 versus 2. 50 seconds on the clock. Hatches to be opened up, uncontested. No Kaid. Banned out. And 3 Candelas still available to fire.
How are you going to approach this Secret?
Oh, good drone.
Fantastic drone. I mean, that's round winning. If the other drones up in cash weren't round winning enough for you, these are incredibly impactful. In come the Candelas, and down come Secret. Well, Liquid, I should say. Secret are trying to hold at the moment, but they're just not able to. They've been forced entirely back now in Liquid. They've got their lay of the land. They can sit back. They can relax. They can get this plant down and play in a post-plant position from a 5 versus 3. It's crumbled in their own hands, but yet a hero play could still be on the cards. A 2 versus 1 that could spiral out of control. Liquid do not want to let this one go. A huge opening attack win if they can make this work. Oh, no way! They might not be able to. Nesk, 1v1, tucked away in the corner now, trying to play for time, but Nesk is brilliant for Liquid, and that is a critical round that Liquid will absolutely eat up.
Oh, talk about a demoralizing round for Secret. Phenomenal start, then Liquid able to bring it back. Great drone in Church for the late round, facilitates the push through and the plant down. Secret then, again, find more hope to hang on to. And the 1 versus 1, though, not converted. And that continues a round streak of 5 the way of Liquid. From 0-2 to 5-2. Liquid have absolutely taken a stranglehold here on club.
That should never be Liquid's round. My word. I mean, I guess if you want to contextualize it a little bit, sure, they lose the first 2 players. And sure, those first 2 players may be the most impactful operators they have on that site. But I don't know. I really don't feel like that should ever get to that position. It's incredibly brutal. The 2 players left up on the top floor. Liquid make the right choice in dealing with it.
So over to Gym Bedroom then, round number 8. As Secret try their very best to gain some control back in this matchup. It has been a rough 5 last rounds for them. Finding it very difficult to convert any kind of win conditions that are presenting. do see Secret bring the Warden out here for the 8th round. However, the Ying has been exchanged out by Team Liquid on the attack. Instead, relying on other crowd control tools like the Grim and info gathering as well, alongside Deimos, which oddly enough was taken off the board as the first death for Team Liquid in the prior round, and we thought that may see them struggle in the roam clear, but the drone work from Liquid more than made up for that in the previous round. I think they had about 6 up for the final push, and plenty of those were relaying a lot of key info for the rest of the attack.
Some great context, Michael, thank you. Some really early critical work done, the minigames for Liquid, without really one half of that minigame. You don't really have any wall denial to deal with. So it should just be freebies, which now kind of forces Secret into just such an awkward scenario. You've got all of Jacuzzi open, you've got your cash wall open, or your CCT wall open. Now Liquid can just decide where they want to apply pressure. They can decide what players from Secret want to feel the heat. But there is a player flanking all the way down to the garage, I believe I saw. So that could make things a little more interesting. Oh, okay. Well, that can make things very interesting.
Well, he got the down, not quite the kill.
Resets went down at the same time. So, I mean, just like that, it's a 3 versus 5. Yikes.
Is this the moment for Secret to finally break this streak? They have not won a round for quite some time. Adrian up close, defending this Jacuzzi entry point, and the spray is unsuccessful. Surely not like this. Oh, surely not like this. Nesk able to brute force his way forward, but June prone. Finally finds the trade. Position, though, should be known. And he is cut off, but unfortunately, Lagonis falls. Maya is able to get the kill, but vaults through and dies. Team Secret finally able to get another round on the board.
They cracked the algorithm. They figured that one out. You should consider a career in play-by-play casting. Once the Michael Guzgari.
Been there, done that, and it was not good.
It was awful. Just ask any viewer of the of the 2019 pros.
Yeah, thanks for that.
No worries, mate. Doxing.
Did you like the little, is this the moment?
Is this the moment? We are going. What we'll do is, okay, we were going to keep it a secret, but I think it could be a little bit of fun now for everyone at home. We're going to play a little game with you. There's some little Easter eggs we're going to throw in here and there, and you can decide what Easter eggs are which. Mr. Jake, Xenox, and Diddy can't be here in person, but he can be here in spirit. Throughout this game, we're going to throw in some little quips, some little moments of magic from Xenox across his career.
Yep.
And you can pick on, you can pick up on which ones it is. Let us know. It's going to be shocking.
If you watch the SI24 Grand Final, there's surely at least 1 or 2 that you will recognize.
Unfortunately, I might not have the voice of Jake Xenox, but I also don't have 10,000 screaming Brazilian fans in an arena, so. Or the best game to ever touch this, this genre of game. God.
It was up there.
That's a throwback.
Feels like SI was only yesterday. Or like a couple of weeks ago.
Just a few more.
Back in February. We're almost done for the year.
Yeah, I know. That's insane. We're almost preparing for next February.
Next thing you know, it'll be SI25.
And where's that?
In Boston.
Sure.
You gotta make it. You gotta make it first. Fortunately for both of these teams, they already have.
They're good.
They're chilling.
They're in pocket. We're happy. As Australians, we're not that happy, but we'll talk about that at another time. We don't have to hijack a stream here.
Yeah.
It is what it is. All right. Secret will be pressed here and pushed to their limits. That's a lot of utility already taken off the board here. Keeper barriers, yes, they regenerate, but only to a certain point. And if Liquid can continue to ensure that that rafters position is just under constant fire, this is going to get very uncomfortable if they decide to turn their attention.
Yeah, it's a double stack rafters. We saw Liquid employ that on their defense, but with the dock in play to counteract the Capital. So we'll see how Secret look to deal with it this time around. Unfortunately, though, Adrian has fallen first.
Wow, that is a devastating thing to find. And now you are literally 1 of 1 on the rafters with absolutely nada. You have nothing to your name but a couple of impacts. A rejuvenating Keybot. If at all. Nope. I'm wild. I've lost the plot, Michael.
Yeah, not in this economy.
I have lost the plot.
Resets now. In storage. Perhaps looking to make a play up main.
Oh my god.
Will Savage have the read? Needs to be mindful to his left and his right. A classic pinch coming through from Liquid. Virtue elsewhere though, able to find resets and in fact able to find Parlu as well.
Jeez.
A big play from Virtue brings this round into the realm of possibility for Secret. That being said, Nesk steps up to the mark and it's a 3 versus 3 with 50 on the clock.
A lot of control now for Liquid to play with, and with how much left on the clock they've got to play with, this makes life a little more difficult for Secret. An early preemptive C4 caught off a player back in the first half, but won't do it this time around. It's a 3 versus 3. You've still got 2 C4s in your pocket, so there's a lot to play with here if you're Secret, and that time is dwindling down quite rapidly.
20 seconds then. We talked about plant denial before, and it needs to be absolutely spot on for Secret here in round number 9. The Nitro lands, 2 versus 2. 10 seconds and a pre-place down below in towards that default position. Liquid need to pivot, and that's exactly what they do. They know Virtue's below, they collect the kill, and Liquid respond.
Nesk with the plays. Unfortunately, Savage just not able to hit the mark there, and that is, I mean, Liquid make the right decision. The second they hear that C4 getting ripped, the second they know that Secret are going to put them under the pump, 2 players just immediately emerge forward, put pressure on Cash, force the player back down red, and Secret have no more room to play with. They've got no time on that clock. I mean, it was coming down to the wire for Liquid, to be fair, but that's map point, and I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Secret have not been able to compete anywhere near to the standard that they needed to here on Clubhouse. And sure, you could make it down to the bans, you could talk about the play styles, you could talk about the adaptations we've seen from Liquid, but ultimately, at the end of the day, this is now putting Liquid in prime position for the rest of this series.
It is their selection, but I think the way in which they've approached the map and executed the game plan has been pretty clean. Tempo's been fun to watch and yielded results. I think it has kind of pigeonholed Secret in many of these rounds into a play style where they don't look as comfortable, or, you know, execution not quite hitting the mark on the day. And Liquid have stuck their guns and pretty much committed to that play style from the point in which it started working, which was all the way back in that 3rd round. Secret's only been able to find 1 since. And going back down to basement now. We'll see whether or not that's something that they can use to maybe lay a bit of a foundation for a comeback, but easier said than done with the Kaid ban in play. It will force Secret into a roam. And this composition from Liquid really effective in helping deal with that. The Dokkaebi and the Deimos combo should really aid in identifying and hunting down those offsite. Currently, there's not a single player from Secret on the basement floor. Every single player, 1st floor or 2nd.
Well, will Liquid identify that and make a decision? Typically, we've seen the drone game from Liquid, the information game in the early portions of this round play absolute dividends for this roster. And now, June goes aggressive, but it's not going to matter. Is that a jump out from Secret? I think it is. They haven't been able to convert the kill, though. That's pretty devastating. In fact, that's really devastating. Parlu's been able to find a free kill. Make it 2 with Savage going down. Stick a fork in it, Michael. It's all but done here with only 3 players left. All of Secret were extending, and none of them found what they were looking for.
That's a weird analogy. Stick a fork in it.
You haven't heard stick a fork in it, it's done?
No.
It's like a meal. When you're done with it, you stick a fork in the steak if you... You really haven't heard that before.
But if you finish the meal, there's nothing to put the fork in.
Well, you put it in the plate or in the table. If it's a wooden table, you just jam it right in there. You don't give it a choice.
Yeah, I think this one's over.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've seen stranger things happen. We've seen multiple 3 versus 5s go awry.
I mean, Virtue could make a play. He did it in the previous round to keep it competitive.
They opt not to. I mean, for me, that's telling me that they have information than what to going on, or at least they have an idea as to what to expect. Pretty critical round here for Liquid. You don't want to let a 5 versus 3 go kind of just barreling by the wayside.
Yeah, they just take this opportunity to compose themselves. The shot calls will get everybody on the same page. 35 seconds, Candela to be cooked, and they'll look to pinch this through dirt.
Lagonis leading that charge in dirt, but this is going to be really uncomfortable for the players of Secret. They've all backed away, but lovely 2 opening picks, resets with a very quick trade. Nesk on the backside, and now this is where it comes down to. Resets, Palu, what do they have in the bank? They're going to sit back, they're going to wait for this to unfold. It's all falling apart here. A 5 versus 3 goes awry. Secret are not done in this series. Well, I shouldn't say in series. In this map, they're nowhere near done. That should be... I mean, that should be it. We should be going to map 2 here. Liquid. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah, really clean that from Groovy to be able to get that one across the line. Good composure. Really falling apart there for Liquid in the final steps. The Ying was really not that effective. The clear through blue and transition over towards the armory was a challenge. And then, yeah, that clutch factor in the end to be able to win that one out. Really good work from Secret just to keep this match alive for a little while longer, but as I sort of alluded to in the prep phase, basement is the kind of site where you should expect a little bit more success. So we'll see if that translates now across to the remaining sides, keeping in mind that Secret do need to commit to a full rotation to push this to overtime. They elect to go to Gym and Bedroom then for the forthcoming round. And they will probably find comfort in the fact that back in round 8 they were able to win that one out. See how they play it this time around. Pretty heavy repick from Liquid, so their composition will shift around. Double hard breach. The blitz is maintained. Grim, interestingly enough, also in play. And that could be an effective tool for the clear. Looks like we are going to see that extension from Secret across over towards Cash. And Doom to start things down below in Garage. May look to eventually play Rafters or Cash, where those keeper barriers can be quite effective. See how Liquid elect to play into this.
For only the second time this map are we seeing the shield, which is baffling to me. Then again, I am but a mere humble APAC man.
You are a mere mortal.
I am but a mere mortal, especially when it comes to any kind of clubhouse game. God knows how long. But the last time we saw the Blitz played, it had absolutely zero impact. Liquid still managed to clutch that up though, regardless. It's in a very similar situation, a 5 versus 3. Both teams have been in that position and both teams have been able to claw it back. Secret now, maybe with a little bit of the momentum swing, but you're going to have to double down here. You don't want to push this yet another round, and Liquid honing in, making a decision. Plenty to work with. However, that drone economy has rapidly decreased.
So will it be a Logi drop then, spearheaded with the Blitz? More than likely here from Liquid. Just the one Nitro available in response from Groovy. Gas Babes also could play a role here for Secret. You can see the layering of that utility over towards Logi at the moment, but the attack not quite to follow just yet. Virtue's position known, being pinged out by the Grim. 7-9 for him so far as the shield drop comes through.
Adrian. That's a lovely piece of timing there from Secret. They go aggressive when they need to, but now Nesk and Palu have to bring this back. They've got one player in sight. Virtue. He's going to play big here, but it's Savage around the backside of the Jacuzzi that swings out at the right time. A 1v1. Savage gets aggressive and shuts down Nesk before there's any opportunity in this one. Secret, it may be close, but boy, are they pushing this the distance.
Again, another very clean round there from Team Secret. Prompts a tactical from Liquid. They just really struggled to get value there from the Blitz. The response from Secret, the rotation of the impacts over towards that position was really, really clean. Virtue was able to vacate that position and keep his life. all of that in combination led to the entire strategy for Liquid to fall apart. With that, came down to a 1v1, but the trade game sharp from Secret once more. And a match that very much felt like a few rounds ago, Secret were about to wave the white flag, has now pushed us all the way to a potential OT.
Really enjoy that play from Savage as well. So many times we see teams just kind of invert and play for time and play defensive there. He decides to get aggressive, peek down hallway, and then continue on that kill to force the fight into logistics, which Nesk is just absolutely not willing to, or really not waiting for, I guess. Why would you? Why would you expect the player with the SMG-11 to continue to push your position in a 1v1 where the time is starting to crunch? Really enjoy that from Secret. Furthermore, now we start to get down to that wire. Something was obviously said in that timeout because Secret had come into this game to play. And although these rounds are close, it's still... it's the magic of a major.
The magical major with Michael and Manic. In Montreal.
The maniacal men? Did we get there?
Don't know what you're waffling about.
Is that even a word?
What?
Maniacal. I feel like it sounds like
maniacal.
My producer confirms.
Maybe it's a very naughty word and we just lost our jobs. I don't know.
Oh God, don't. I remember you
nice.
reading out
Nice knowing you.
Twitch chat comments. That was always a very dangerous game. Especially when you ask someone how to pronounce their name. That's when things got very dangerous back in the day. There we go. Maniacal is a word. I'm happy with that
Extremely, what was it? Extremely violent or wild behavior, I think.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Michael? You
that makes me think of you.
You fit that to a T.
No, I don't.
The suspect is 5'11". Maniacal.
I might be the most passive person on the planet.
Has a mustache with slick back hair like his co-caster.
Okay.
Actually, he's gone forward this time. You've gone backwards, he's gone forward.
He's gone home, that's why you're here.
That's very true. They've sent him on his way. No, style. They're not going to stick around for this one, Secret. They're backed away, at least. They're decided to. And Joom with the opening pick. It's Nesk as well. I mean, I don't even need to bring your attention to how well Nesk has been playing, but multiple times has he been the difference maker. Multiple times has he found the multi-frags in critical rounds, in positions where you think that Secret has been dusted.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt Liquid. And on top of that, it's the Lion scans taken to the grave as well. Minute 30, and the flames to be dispersed by the Capital. Maya falls, but in the meantime, Joom officially has died.
Oh, no way Joom went for that. He impacted the wall to try and find the fight with Palu. That is, I mean, that's a decision that you make, I tell you what. In a round so critical, where Joom's having a pretty decent start to the series, that could have made things a lot more fun.
Well, they get Maya up as well, which is important. Sure, only 20 HP, but he can send forward and be a bait for a Nitro, gain a bit of info. Could be a difference maker here with 50 on the clock. 4 versus 4. The pivot from Liquid. Lagonis with the diffuser in hand, downstairs in stock. His movements will dictate how Liquid go for this approach. It looks like it will be a main breach plant. Maybe he'll tuck in hard right, or he'll look to dash across the default.
I'm super curious as well. You've got Savage in the corner.
Well, they've
got no idea.
Yeah.
They've got no idea. Savage has been here this entire time. He won't need to worry about it. The players fall as they enter. Liquid's chance in this one of finishing in regulation now rest on 1 HP. Lagonis, 12 seconds left. This one is absolutely well and truly done and dusted. Secret have brought back a 4-2 half to send this to overtime.
Very good work then from Team Secret. And I tell you what, that half-time tactical timeout may go down by Twister as one of the best I've ever seen. Remarkable, really.
Something's been said. Something was identified, and something was... I would have loved to be able to wind back the clock and listen into that. Jeez, Liquid are loud. I have absolutely no idea. Oh. Michael, are you ready?
Ooh.
Thank you. I'm so glad you didn't. You have a tendency to leave me out in the lurch, so thank you for leaning into that. I will appreciate you, as I know you appreciate me immensely. It could be worse. You could be casting with Parker. Just remember
Actually,
that.
yes, very true.
Just remember that.
Very true. Been there, done that. Never again.
Well, the important part of this conversation, Liquid start on defense. Now, a pretty important part of that conversation is both teams were able to win a 5 versus 3. I think maybe I'm tripping there, but both teams have won 5 versus 3. At least one of them has been on that defense. I think both of them were, but in any case, that now makes this conversation maybe a little less impactful. What are you looking for here? Okay.
Oh, he gave up. Didn't go for it.
Couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered. Nice bit of information though, and just like that, Liquid find 2 picks, 3 picks, 4 picks. Secret fall apart at the start of the attack. At least he shoots out the C4. No, he doesn't. He misses entirely, but it's behind the breach. I am baffled. What just happened?
That was wild. Every single entry point shut down then by Liquid. Secret unable to find a single trade.
I wish I saw...
Your guess is as good as mine. I believe that was Nova in the comms.
We definitely just got a sorry.
With the sorry. hey man, look, I'm not even trying to be nice, but that was not your fault.
When do you expect that? I think that was a kill from every individual player on the team. Like, good luck catching that.
That was just a siege moment.
Unless somehow you're on a delayed feed, say goodnight to that. That is absolutely hopeless. Well, this game really has some legs in it. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to Border, especially given how good Liquid is on Border as well. Second preference overall. This could be a really devastating best of 3 for Secret here.
Yeah, man. Imagine after expending all that energy as well to mount that comeback and push to OT, you just flounder in like an 8-6. That would not be a great feeling.
Especially with like your attacking round, you literally just... that was like throwing pickles at a window and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
To be fair, pickles stick a lot better than that, so that's a
I
terrible
don't even want to
analogy.
know how you know that.
Shout out the old McDonald's in Strathdale. You know, you know.
I've been pleasantly surprised at the quality of the McDonald's here in Canada.
Yeah? I'm going to start talking about that. Apparently they've got, what's that dish called?
Poutine.
Yeah, I'm very careful.
I haven't tried it. Haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's a McDonald's, and the Uber driver I had on the way here said it's very good. You should try it, and so too should you try a run out.
Maybe don't try that.
Is Doom, but that is not the money. That is not what you want to be seeing if you're a Secret fan. That is a very bold choice. You are committing to that. And unfortunately now, I mean, I'm not going to say you can wrap that one up, but I mean, that's a devastating start, at least as the Vigil. It's kind of the entire purpose of playing an operator like Vigil is to have a bit of fun with it.
Well, it does mean, though, that the cameras now have been forfeited to Liquid, and Palu collects that and hacks it. Defaults plus the BPC.
Oh, no! Oh, my God, Savage. Oh, my days.
He's gotten away with that one.
Was given an opportunity, and now Virtue looks on a flank into logistics. No. The timing on that, whether he got an audio cue, maybe a comm, it's really just all but over here for Secret. They've got to hope that they can play for spoils. Either deny this plant or pay for the post. It does not look like it's going to happen. They're isolating these players on site, and it's all done and dusted. That is all she wrote here for Clubhouse. Liquid kickstart this qualifying series with a very interesting Clubhouse.
Yeah, look, it may be a bad day to be an APAC fan, but at least you're not an EU fan. That has got to be one of the most devastating losses I have personally witnessed at this event. The fact that Secret were able to crack the code in that second half, win 4 out of 6, do a really good job to push it to OT, and then fall short of the mark like that has really got to hurt. I'm hurting inside. I'm not an EU fan. I'm not a Team Secret player. And so we're really going to have to see them bounce back in this second map, which unfortunately is the selection of Liquid. So that's so rough for Secret. Like, I can't understate just how difficult this is going to be for them for the rest of the series.
I mean, that's just it, right, Border? We were just talking about like the fact that it's second preference for Liquid after you've seen that, after you've seen Nesk do what Nesk just did. I think it was 18 kills in the end there. I mean, it doesn't really run a lot of hope, and it doesn't really bow too well for the cross-regional conversation now, does it? It kind of it sticks a little nail in the coffin, but it's an interesting one at that. I feel as though in this matchup, Secret might have something, maybe a little bit of magic, Michael, hopefully.
I think so. But the preference being so strong for Liquid, Team Secret, maybe lacking a bit of X Factor again in this matchup. Team-wise, they were decently well-rounded, but I just find it so difficult to see them being able to recover here. Who knows, maybe Twister can perform another minor miracle.
Well, you never know. We do head to Border after this short break. That was certainly a game that was one to remember or forget. I'm not entirely sure. It depends what you're a fan of. Unfortunately, Secret, they brought it all the way back in the second half just to fall short in overtime with two very strange rounds, Michael. Honestly, it was a very close game. It was a very entertaining game. We had a lot of 1v1s. We had a lot of really great moments, but ultimately Liquid just showed form in the final 2 rounds of overtime.
Yeah, massive 18 bomb from Nesk back on map number 1 of this best of 3. The selection of Secret was Clubhouse, but unfortunately they didn't get off to the greatest of starts. Well, they did, I suppose, in the first 2 rounds, and then Liquid pretty quickly clued into the playstyle and the win conditions that they needed to really play into defensively. And the second they flicked that switch, started to roam around the map, play more aggressive and not allow Secret in, they really struggled. And then even in the second half, again, Secret, whilst they found some success defensively, after a tactical timeout taken at half-time, which is very unusual, but rather successful, they grinded and they grinded and they got themselves back into an OT position. The last 2 rounds of this match were just complete blowouts.
Yep.
So it doesn't give them probably the best of form and confidence heading into this second map.
No.
And Border, especially if it's your opposition in selection, is the kind of map where you need to show a lot of initiative, a lot of confidence. You're going to be in a lot of isolated gunfights, and you need to back yourself in to win them.
Well, the last time we saw Liquid play Border, they were going up against the former world champs Furia. They lost it to open up a best of 3. The last time we saw Secret play it, yesterday against Scars. An unconvincing 8-7. Nevertheless, it was a victory. We get underway here with Border for what could be Secret's final chance here in this series. A reminder for what's on the line: Liquid, should they win this, will go through to the quarterfinals. Secret will progress to tomorrow, where they will have to play in one final game before they determine their fate here at the Montreal Major.
Do you know how the A stream is going, by the way?
I don't, but fortunately, Xenox had this ready for me. It's already up. We are, let me just double check that I'm actually refreshing this. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, but it's 1-1 on map 1. Yep, Dark Zero SSG. So it's the very start of that series. That's a banging series, by the way. That is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Well, I'm also posed that question under the guise that perhaps the BDS VP game into a third map, but I guess that answers that question, and BDS were able to get that one across the line.
If you'd like me to find out, Michael. 8-6, apparently.
Right. It's the
games.
day of 8-6s, apparently.
Apparently it is, which means BDS go through to the quarterfinals. Virtus Pro now have to go through to their final chance tomorrow. Boy, it's been a strange old major.
I thought it might be. Yeah, so BDS will join Falcons, FaZe, and W7M.
Yep.
Cool. It's going to be some very spicy 2-2 games tomorrow, I think.
Yep. Typically the way on these final days of Swiss, they're always very spicy.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun to watch. Can also be a little painful to watch at the same time. The duality of man is summed up in the final day of Swiss. Elimination, qualifying, all in one. That's where the true excitement comes in. So let's get underway with map 2 here. Now, if you thought that Clubhouse was aggressive, you thought Clubhouse was going to be entertaining, I can only imagine what both these teams have in store here for Border, a notoriously aggressive map in general. You right there, Michael?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Great.
I'm having a great
I'm
old
glad we
time.
established that. Well, in terms of bans for this one, because I don't know if we actually touched on it yet.
No,
Nomad
I
and
certainly haven't.
Nomad and Monty for the attack. So Nomad's a bit of an intriguing pick there from Liquid. We'll see what kind of an impact that may have when Secret jump across to attack. It also means that Liquid needs to be a little bit more conscious of flanks. Defensively, it's a bit more standardized with the Azami mirror combination. The Osa brought out here for the first round indicates to me that Liquid are going to look to be rather direct through archives. Palu's been able to maneuver it down below, so that skeleton key can be used to dislodge key positions for plant denial. And in the meantime, Myers set up on the balcony. So the cross is established, and honestly, Liquid aren't too far away from potentially teasing a plant. But it is triple nitro for Secret, and so they have the tools to potentially deal with this. Legion targeted by the Deimos, that death mark positioned nicely. There's one nitro, that one perhaps dealing with one of the Talon shields, and in the meantime, Groovy has found resets. Another Talon to follow though, as Groovy finds his second.
Yeah, why not find a double? And now things are starting to trade back a little bit here for Liquid. Try and stick this plant. Lagonis has some support. Palu sitting in the back lines. Groovy goes down, and now a 3 versus 3 post plant. This gets a little bit more interesting. How does Secret retake this? How do they get into position? Nice C4. It'll take out Lagonis. It also takes out that Talon shield, which could, in fact, act as a double-edged sword where Palu is. He's all the way looking to be a little bit of a menace, but this is slowly and surely going to become a problem for Secret. The time is dwindling away. Do they have the line of sight? They absolutely do. Palu now with vert control. Just has to sit and wait, but Savage has the long arm of the law, but it's not long enough. Oh! No way! No way! That should never happen. Palu is so unfortunate in that. What a play from Savage.
Wow. Has the high ground advantage, but even still under an immense amount of pressure and limited time to find that kill. But positioned perfectly, lands the critical blow. And with that, Secret able to pull off a bit of a heist in that round, a successful retake. Man, it looked so good for Liquid for so damn long.
It did.
And
it did.
Secret able to bring it back.
They are losing that fight out on window, though. That's pretty critical. That's mission critical, if you ask me. Palu in such an unbelievable god position, if you will. Just unable to get it done. I have no idea how cursed my mic just sounded, because as I stood up, my headset ripped off one way. I tried to fix it and it ripped off the other way. So I hope that it wasn't too cursed for those at home.
Such an amateur.
Honestly, I actually feel like a fish out of water right now, Michael. I feel like a fish out of water. It is unbelievable. The sights on this one, I tell you what. But a really fun first round, if I'm being completely honest. It follows on from what we saw from Clubhouse. And if you were to have a spectrum of boring through to interesting, this is definitely, the needle is definitely spinning further in that way of interesting, and I'm sure that this matchup is 100% going to follow suit from what we've just seen. Fiery.
Yeah, that round adds to a lengthening list of pretty insane defensive retakes that we've actually seen at this event so far. It goes without saying that once the diffuser's on the ground, typically speaking, it bolsters the winning chance or winning percent of the attack massively. Retaking in Siege is often incredibly difficult. And whilst it certainly wasn't easy in the previous round there from Secret, they did pretty much everything they could as well as possible to bring some win conditions back into play. So we'll see how Liquid respond here in the second round. They go down below over towards Workshop. In terms of the attack comp, does differ a little bit. Striker in play.
I love that we get to
I love when NA teams play. The shit talk is incredible. I mean, they may not win many events, but they're very loud in losing. They did win the last major, so...
Well, they kind of just
they get a concession.
Eliminates that conversation. Nice buddy system from Secret, at least finds a trade. They don't get the advantage, but they do take out resets. So it's not all lost here. As Liquid continue to poke and probe around the map, trying to find an entry. From supply now. Alongside, I believe, Lagonis was side by side, so there's definitely two players looking to put and apply pressure. Secret have a lot of vertical control over.
I think it was Maya, yeah. It's actually a 3-stack. Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's a decision.
Yeah, we'll see how it works.
Those beepers are working overtime just to alert Secret of their position. Well, you don't continue to play around that one, June. Unfortunately, you're a little too late on that one, as Secret have full control of vertical. But what does that mean if Liquid can get into position with Savage going down? Those chances just continue to increase here for Liquid. June with a lovely little trade.
Hello?
Well, It doesn't matter if you've got vertical. Don't even worry about it. Just play for the post plant. That's how we do it here in this matchup, Liquid and Secret. This is not fun at all for Secret. They know absolutely nothing. They are going in completely blind. You can see it from their point of view. Liquid take a round where really they shouldn't be.
Yeah. The horizontal stack from Customs across proves to be the best way in which to approach that site for Liquid. A stark, contrast to the previous round where Secret put their best efforts forward in trying to deny the plant. There in the second round, there was no attempt at all. No line of sight, no utility, and seemingly a pretty poor read as to when and where that plant was actually being executed upon. So I love that from Liquid. They clearly don't feel the need to play for Vert in that particular round, and they pull it off quite nicely. So good response. And for the third round, we'll see how they look to shake it up once more.
The only thing I can think of is maybe that Deimos is just tracking the one player that can play for that exact Vert position. Just a little bit antsy. Honestly, it is what it is. 1-1, Liquid will be happy with that one. It's essentially a freebie. Thinking those positions for Secret we're going to play dividends, and they just don't. Moving on to the third round now. Third round, the Secret will really want to be a little bit more convincing with. It's being brought here for Lagonis. Something that we saw rarely on Clubhouse, and when it was used, Lagonis had absolutely zero impact in both rounds. Died early in round 7. I think it was round 11. Lost a 1v1 fight with a player in Jacuzzi, who I believe was Savage. So it has not worked out thus far.
Yeah, good drone work early on here from Liquid. All 5 defenders identified, and so that gives Maya the freedom on the Deimos to track who he wishes. And we'll see what kind of value can be extracted from that over the course of the round. It looks like once again they will spearhead things from detention through Customs. And maybe this time around a bit more presence up on the Vert. East stairs actively held, this time by June.
Oh, no way, no way.
Yeah, that's pretty dirty.
That is hilarious. Well, Groovy with the opening pick with Nesk going down. There goes, well, Nesk's impact, sorry, from map 1. Hang on a second. Is that a push coming down from main stairs? Do they back out of that then? I believe they do. Gonis getting in position here. Might have a bit more impact than what we saw in map 1. Palu with an opening pick. Now starts to make things a little chaotic here for Secret. A free pick on the backside. Maya finding that over the shoulder. C4 is perfectly placed, but it doesn't kill him. What? 5 HP. That is so unfortunate for Team Secret, but they still find the picks here. Player out on main window. It's Groovy to try and make contact here. Lagonis might just stick this. There's no one in position to deny, and Resets is waiting for the players to cross, but it's now with 5 HP, all on the hands of a pistol and a shield. And it's going to remain a dream for Liquid as Secret retake the site once again.
Yeah, good work from Secret. To be fair, they're probably the deserved winners of that round. The Nitro, very unlucky not to net that kill, and if the Diffuser was on an island, I think it would have been rather difficult for Liquid to recover that and attempt to plant once more. So ultimately rewarded, able to overwhelm the Blitz in the 2v1. And overall, just a much better played round there from Secret. Some good aggression in the early round to disrupt the pressure above. And then from there, pretty decent consolidation on towards the site itself. Now, Rob, I see it. But I don't believe it.
No?
The Cav in play.
That's wild.
For round 4.
That is a decision that you actively make. You actively have to make that decision. Now, I guess just for reference, June was playing the Azami and the Fenrir on map 1, and slowly toward the end of the map started to transition into the Vigil, and now looking to play like an absolute menace after mainlining for Vigil in the first round. So go ahead, show us what you got. If you're going to pick the Cav, you better damn believe you're going to have the impact.
Yeah. presuming it was hidden successfully during the preparation phase. And now we'll just chill out over towards supply room. Could be an impact later on in the round if Doom elects to play it a little bit more passive. With the Deimos on the board, you don't want to reveal yourself too early, be susceptible to the death mark.
I guess you're kind of sitting back and hoping that they just don't drone properly downstairs, which they might not. Savage, what on God's green earth is that? Is that a default? Is that just a fortunate peak? Is it an audio cue? I don't know, but Doom has found a kill in the meantime as well. At least Lagonis finds one back, so it's not all lost here for Liquid. They do drop the Deimos though, and that is going to be a very interesting talking point should June be able to continue to run amok here on border.
Maya under fire.
Oh.
And now up close, June with the pistol in hand should be able to net a kill and will do so successfully. Follows it up with a second.
No way.
Falling apart here. Team Liquid in the 4th round. Palu all alone, 1v3, 5 HP, and this is not a round that he will be able to win out. Surely, you wouldn't think he will win this one out.
No.
Will he? No.
Oh my God.
There was a split moment. There was a
God.
very small moment I thought they may line up, but no, good trade from Secret and a solid round overall.
I will be honest, that round just epitomizes what we have seen from these two teams over the last 2 maps. Doom with a 3K, I believe, on the Cav. Opportunity for a bit of salt in the wounds, but regardless, Liquid just unable to deal with it. I think it opens up with Savage swinging and just finding a free kill on the rappel. It's a little bit devastating if you're a Liquid fan, but nevertheless, Secret are looking very comfortable here on border defense. And Liquid are going to really need to ensure that this map doesn't kind of spiral out of control. What's your pass mark?
For Secret?
Yeah. Sorry, for Liquid, actually. On a first half attacking border.
Tough. I typically view border as a rather 3-3 style kind of map.
Yep. So realistically, 3-3 might be the pass mark.
Well, I mean, the reality is, Liquid have successfully gotten the plant down in 2 additional rounds on top of what's already occurred, right? Where Secret have had successful retakes, so that alone really does kind of shift the needle a little bit.
Do you even count the one where the Blitz got that down?
Ah, yeah, to be fair, that one's probably a little bit...
Technically, it
probably stretching the truth a little bit on that one, but...
But regardless, that first round,
that one was definitely a legitimate retake.
That probably could have been a lock and key for Liquid.
You
in this
flip that, it's
conversation.
2-2, and it's a lot closer. Right?
It's a lot different. The conversation is not even in the same vein. Look, I mean, you could even make claim that Resets losing that fight at main window, that was the difference maker on that 2 versus 2 post plan. So there's many conversations to be had here that Liquid could be even, if not 3-1 up, which I mean would just completely turn the tides on what we're talking about right now. Regardless, it's a close map. It's an interesting map. Maybe we see a third?
Is it a Team Secret map?
Hasn't been... I don't think it's been convincing enough to say for the first 4 rounds. Also, Savage going down early. That's not a lot of fun, but EDDs will be trapped pretty much everywhere. And with Lagonis, if he's not live droned ahead, I mean, he might end up being able to walk into one. Just theory crafting. You can tell I'm a host.
And I will say at this point in the match, I think it definitely shrugs off the theory that I had earlier that maybe after the fashion in which they lost Clubhouse, that Secret could drop their heads a little bit. It seems they've been able to refocus and gather themselves up really nicely here on the second map. At least so far. Deathmark on to Virtue, and a plant attempt from Lagonis.
Why not? You've got complete control of the site. Zoom's nowhere to be seen. He can't have a single piece of impact.
Not again.
Secret have just shut them down as Liquid go for 1v1s. This map, this series continues to break the norms. It's a 2 versus 4 post plan here. Liquid still have a little bit in this, but Groovy with the wide swing. It's now all done and dusted. He'll find 2. And Secret continue to just absolutely tear apart Liquid in these post plants.
Wow. That's now, I guess, 2.5 successful retakes.
That's fair. I'll give you that. 2.5 is fair.
Technically 3, but for our purpose, 2.5. Man, that's going to be so frustrating for Liquid.
Yeah,
Again, they've identified weakness on site, had a genuine window of opportunity to pull off the plant. And, I mean, at least in that most recent example, the plant goes down, and immediately 2 isolated fights elsewhere, a fair distance away from the objective, go the way of Team Secret, put the remaining 2 players under an immense amount of pressure, and then Secret have done a good job to identify where those players are, sink a bit of pressure onto them, and be in, relatively tradable positions, and regardless, still won them out confidently. So, head-scratching stuff at the moment for Liquid. I mean, a 1-4 scoreline.
This game looks incredibly one-sided. Like, if you're just tuning in to the B stream, best stream by the way, you're sitting here going, my God, Secret are taking them to town. Not the case at all. The kills kind of somewhat, I guess, tell the picture maybe a little better. 21 kills to Secret, 17 to Liquid. But there's just been so many of these post-plant situations. There's been so many of these moments where Secret are... I wouldn't say they're wiped out completely. That was a 5 versus 4. That's not out of the realms of possibility regardless. But it's the manner in which Secret are finding these rounds back. It's how quickly things are flicking. I mean, Groovy just absolutely sending it out onto the balcony there and finding both kills with the bonus and a shield. That's mind-boggling enough.
I didn't want to mention this too early just because I didn't think it would be relevant, but I think now being 5 rounds in, it most certainly is. Last map, Nesk got 18 kills. We're now 5 rounds deep into the second map and he's yet to find a single kill. Like, that's insane.
Yep.
And that lack of consistency could really hurt Liquid here. For reference, he has been playing Dockerby and then 3 rounds back-to-back of Ace now into the Finca, but still, on a map like Border, there's no excuse. Regardless of who you're playing, you still need to be posting numbers.
Dude, the timing is perfect! They hit the double run out as well! Oh, it just continues to get worse here for Liquid. It doesn't matter how close this game is. They are but a no contest here in the first half in terms of those rounds. The advantages that they find are not swinging back their way, but Lagonis is going to go for an early plan here. Who can deny it? Who is in position?
Secret win the round. Retake.
They certainly do.
Retake.
Adrian is in position to take out the blitz once again. It is not working for Liquid the way that they want it to. A 4 versus 5 post-plant position. Michael Guzgurry. This is my first time casting back in 3 years. What is going on?
Hold on. Well, Liquid could still win it from here, but no, they will not.
God.
Another successful retake for Team Secret to conclude the half in a 5-1 fashion.
What is going on? As a famous man once said, I see it. But I do not bloody believe it.
Oh, wow.
I am shook.
Yeah, wow.
I am shooketh.
That's insane.
The problem is as well, like, the vast majority of these rounds have been close. This should be a 3, just based on statistics. Is that 4 plants?
Officially 4, yeah.
That should be a 3-3 half. Minimum. Minimum for Liquid. I must say, though, that the shield play has just not been on point. For a meta that is so clearly defined with how well you can play those shields, unfortunately, Lagonis has not had enough of an impact for me to kind of highlight it as part of the meta.
Yeah, I mean, Lagonis was able to farm a lot of plants in that half. They just didn't translate to round wins, which is very frustrating for Liquid. Either way, though, for Secret, elation over the course of that first half, able to recover this series very much so. Clubhouse, the way in which that one closed out, sowed the seed of doubt that they may be in the mud for this second map, but that has been far from the case. Their resilience has been great to watch. The question now lies in how they are able to go about closing out this particular map. A strong lead a strong position, surely now in the minds of Liquid, who on the defense will need to show something special. Look down below from Joom. Head spotted and the frag grenades to follow. Resets under the pump early here in this round over towards top east. Now stuck in a corner. Position will be surely confirmed in a moment. And Groovy does spot out that warded. Shots follow. Reset's able to survive, but Joom now, who's lurked all the way through waiting, tries his best to go up top east.
Oh.
But Lagona, seemingly out of nowhere, has been able to catch it.
He's lucky to get away with his life a little bit there. Now we're going to see Savage. What impact does he have with the shields? Resets only 1 second away from finding that player trying to back away. The warden of all players was in prime position. Adrian is well and truly waiting for that opportunity. Another player goes swinging and Nesk will find the kill, extended into security. They're not expecting 2 players there. And now Savage is caught in a little bit of a crossfire. That's a really awkward position. But Virtue will find one. A quick swing from Nesk. This is an explosive round as Groovy goes deep into sight here. In fact, it wasn't Groovy. I'm going crazy. Regardless though, this is now just turning back and forth. I mean, if you wanted a fun game to watch, this is absolute delivery.
Yeah. Well, Diffuser then to be collected by Savage. Both Palu and Nesk linking arms inside of Armory. 60 seconds remain, and so there's an opportunity now for the attack to scout forward. Savage using that to identify one over towards Sandwich. Will he spot the second up close? He does. Red pings. 50 seconds. We'll see how they break it down.
What are you going to do with your launcher? Are you going to be able to get it into position? Savage at the moment swings, but Groovy is the one that finds the kill. Is now a 1v1 with the Tachanka. But he can't get it done. This match is seriously delivering if you're a Secret fan. That is 6-1 match point to the EU roster. Wow, now you start talking a bit of smack over the top.
Yeah.
Come on.
You compare that to Clubhouse, they're a little bit quiet.
I will be honest, the reason I thought the Lion was sending it in was because of the Tachanka's outline. I really just, that threw me off so much.
Yeah.
Seeing such a chunky boy on there. Regardless, I think right now this has just been such a like, I know it seems like an onslaught. Like, again, if you're tuning in, maybe if you've only watched the last 2 rounds, you're thinking Secret have had this in the bag. No, this has been close. Liquid have been very competitive, but ultimately, no cigar. It doesn't matter how close you get.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my mind is still trying to wrap itself around the sheer number of successful retakes we saw back in that first half.
Yeah.
Because that's what set themselves up on such a powerful platform now to really just storm home. 6-1 lead, 5 map points. Bank all but a certainty now to decide which of these 2 teams will qualify for the main stage. Liquid looking to join their counterparts in W7M and FaZe, and for Secret looking to be the 2nd European team to qualify alongside BDS.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy considering the game that we're watching right now and how much fun we're having watching this. The fact that this is a qualifying, this is an incredibly crucial match in their campaign for the Montreal Major. Oh well, enjoy it while you can. Liquid looking to push this the absolute distance. Now, it's not out of the realms of, I guess, reality. Secret brought it back 3 rounds in a row where Liquid were on match point on Clubhouse. However,
Bit of a bigger gap this time around.
Look, 5 rounds versus 3. It's a little bit of a difference. You know, you're only talking about, what, 60% of the rounds that Secret needed. However, there is an opportunity here. Should Liquid be able to go on a little bit of a roll? I just don't see it happening, but I'm a man of optimism. An optimistic man, they say.
Are you still optimistic?
Oh, not really, and not when they're sending it straight into the top floor. They've got complete control of everything. Liquid have reverted back to the first floor if they were ever looking to extend.
Minute 30 on the clock. And a 5v4 in favor of Secret. We'll see how they look to convert it from here. just droning at the moment, looking to obtain some information. There is a player in Passport, Maya, on the Valk. Is this position? No.
At least it'll maybe extend the game a bit longer. That's granted Secret play into it. I mean, eventually they're going to have to come this way. So it depends how patient he can be as the rest of Secret start to line themselves up, start to posture as to where they may finish up. Virtue.
Oh, here we go.
Down east. This is going to be a freebie. That is really unfortunate. Of all the players you could have run into you, it's the Blitz. Well, this one is all she wrote here for Team Liquid. Border is completely secured by Team Secret, and this game is going the distance.
Well, Siege is a funny game. Things can change very, very quickly. It felt like only moments ago we saw Secret struggle in overtime back on Clubhouse, and we thought that maybe here on Border they could have some issues. Certainly not the case off the back of a very chaotic first half where Secret won 3.5 retakes, I believe it was in the end, the final total.
That's what
on defense. They were able to translate that really nicely onto the second half, no issues in terms of closing this one out.
Yep.
And we reset into a best of one to determine who makes it through to main stage.
That we do. It's all fun and games here. Secret and Liquid are definitely giving us a game to remember here for the qualifying match. Reminder for those just tuning in, this is for a quarter-final spot at the Montreal Major. The loser will go on to play in a final game in the Swiss format tomorrow, 2-2 across the board with only 3 slots left. But that'll do it here for Map 2. We'll be back with Bank after this.
Tap, tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up, I'm a pilot. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap, tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
Well, this is going the distance for whatever reason. We are going to bank. Liquid and Secret are not done in this series. Both teams vying for an opportunity to head to the quarterfinals. What the hell did we just witness on Border?
8 rounds of greatness from 2 teams vying for a spot in the top 8. Look, the timeline says it all. 1, 2, 3, 4 plants. And, well, 5 in total. 4, although went the way, ultimately, of Secret, who were able to successfully retake. That was the
mental
story of Border. Some insane defensive efforts from them. And some pretty clean individual efforts as well. Gruby leading the charge, 11-4, and a 100% cost. The entry as well, dominant across the board from Secret in this particular map. And so for Liquid, a little bit disappointing, especially considering Border is not a map that they necessarily try and shy away from. Over the last few months, the ban record for them is 2-10.
Yep.
So they've only banned it twice.
And they went OT against Furia.
Yeah.
Literally the last time they played this, they played the ex-world champs and it went OT. Yep. Granted, they lost it, but still, this should have been a much closer affair. This should have been potential overtime territory. Both of these teams good on Border. Both teams going into this map looked pretty confident on Clubhouse. Both teams had their say, their piece of the pie, but this was just a baffling one. 23 rounds has been played across this entire series so far. 8 plants out of those 23 rounds. Guess the conversion rate of that. Only 3 rounds have been converted on 8 plants. Can you believe that? That is a really scary statistic. Also, I mean, look, if you actually want to dive into the overall series, considering what just happened on that map, a 7-1, the entries are dead even across both teams. Nada. No one is winning nor losing. But we move on to Bank now. This is the final game in this series. As you said before we went to break, Guz, this turns into a best of 1. And we head to Bank for that. Cash money for the team that wins.
Yeah, Bank again, an intriguing one for both rosters over the last 90 days. The ban stats are 5-7, so 5 bans for, 7 against for both rosters. And we haven't seen either team play it here at the Montreal Major. For Team Liquid, last time they played Bank was 58 days ago against E1. And for Team Secret, last time they played Bank was 43 days ago against Wolves.
Jeez, that's long enough ago to make an interesting conversation going into this final map. Neither team have recent biasy. Neither team have played it in this major qualification. This makes it for like one of the more intriguing final maps that both teams could go to. I know we've both got the cough at the moment.
Yeah, I think mine's more so asthma.
Yes.
I've got those weak lungs.
You do. You got them non-grass touching lungs.
Yeah, I go outside and I explode.
That is very true. I have seen Michael explode from the sunlight. He's kind of like a vampire.
Yeah.
I actually have actively heard him hiss when taking fresh oxygen into his lung.
Okay. As I start to cough. Oh no.
Studio environment.
Maybe it's the man flu from Jake.
Well, you know what? It is contagious. And it's real. Honestly, it's crippling. It's crippling. For any men out there, we all know what we're talking about. It is utterly crippling. But hopefully he will rejoin you very soon, Michael, because I hope not want to work with you ever. If I can, I will actively try to avoid it from here on out. But we've still got one more game to go, and this one has some pretty serious consequences. Top 8 for the team that wins. Final round of Swiss for the team that wins.
They're pretty dramatic operator bans for this one as well. Shields will escape, but the Ash will be taken off board, so limiting the entry a little bit for both teams. Deimos as well, and on a map as large and as roam heavy sometimes as Bank can be, that will be a valuable tool that Liquid won't be able to utilize for the first half. And then Basement's going to see a big shake-up with both the Kaid and the Smoke banned out. That's going to lean itself into probably meaning that defensive units will want to roam on that particular objective, and we're going to see elements of that here in the opening round from Secret, with reinforcements and castle barricades as high as the top floor. Adrian on the top floor alongside Savage and Groovy. A 3-2 split from defense. It is actually an open area defense, I should clarify, but again, expect teams to go for heavy roams with these bans in play.
From what we've seen on heavy roams on both maps,
yeah,
this is going to be a map that's won and lost on these extensions. So often were teams able to get an early advantage and then have their two roamers completely isolated only for quick kills and trades to find a 5 versus 3 spiraling out of control. And on that note, Palu will take the spearhead approach. Only just narrowly missing a member of Secret. See, Savage on the other hand. It's a quick pick. It's actually some pretty quick trades. Where are these kills coming from? It feels as though they're a lot closer to site than maybe we expected them to be. Lagonis, what a flick on Adrian! Ooh. Doubles down with Savage going down. Wow, that is an explosive start.
Oh, no.
And Treadmill, Michael, I think I need some fitness. And so all the players looking around in the exact same fashion you would expect.
Yeah, I was saying before, we had a one of these similar instances back against back in the BDSV VP game, and I made the comment that it's the first that I'd seen at the event, and well, now this is now the second that I have personally witnessed.
That's unfortunate.
The funny thing is, I feel like typically in most of these pauses, we'll be sitting here speculating as to like who's going to win that one out, or it was obvious that they were going to win.
Well, technically they had
side
control.
One of those instances where it was a pretty even 2v2 positionally, etc. Time in the round.
Yeah, they just lost the control that Lagonis was able to obtain. It's not like they had another player in that position. We'll say Lagonis on that quick flick. That was pretty gnarly. Nice little 2-piece. I guess it gives you some momentum. You know, Lagonis will feel good. He went down immediately after, so he'll probably look at that and go, well, I feel pretty good about that overall. A round that unfortunately we will never see the end of. We won't be able to see how that one pans out, but all in all, there was an interesting point that I just looked at as you mentioned the Ash ban. So the Ash ban is from Team Liquid, and I was going to bring this up kind of halfway in the round, and I thought, you know what, I'll bite my tongue. For Secret, it is not in anyone's top 3 played operators. Reminding you, this is a Team Liquid ban. However, it is Nesk's most played attacking operator. And if you saw what Nesk did on Border, maybe they're just trying to avoid another downfall. I don't know, it's just worth pointing out. The Deimos ban, I mean, take it or leave it. But I'm very intrigued to see what Liquid's approach to this game is. After being 7-1, after so many of the earlier rounds on Border being close, and then for it to just spiral at the end. I mean, that's a map that you're writing off in your head, but now how does that impact? What does that flow-on effect look like in the bank? Reminding you, it's really, like, realistically, it's only 10-15 minutes point to point between games. So between a player exiting that lobby and rejoining the game, we're talking 10-15 minutes tops. That's not a hell of a lot of time to reset your mental. And I'm sure as well this tech has equally frustrating for the viewers at home as it is for the players who are ready to compete in this game. Two evenly matched teams in the server. Again, if you look at how this series has gone, it is already trending, on a close bank. I just want to sink our teeth into it.
Yeah, all 10 players are back inside of the server. And I'm operating under the assumption that it will be a round replay. I don't really see there being any other result. So probably just waiting for final confirmation, get the server settings right, so that we can continue this match, or I suppose actually begin this match, really.
Begin would be a fair assumption. How's your time been in Montreal, Michael?
Pretty good.
This is now the Mannequin Michael podcast.
Yeah, coming soon.
Sponsored by the Montreal Major.
Coming soon.
Kickstarts here and then we take it online.
Take it on the road.
I reckon we could.
Have you been enjoying your time?
I've been loving it.
Yeah.
I've been having a great time.
It's a little bit chilly outside, I will say.
No. See, it's perfect conditions
Well,
for
for
me. If
you.
anyone remembers what I looked like at SI24, the icy conditions of Montreal favour me very heavily. And to the arena we're heading to on the 18th? No, that's the final day. 16th?
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd come in and
I don't
speak.
go outside. I don't know what days what.
That's very true. The
15th, I believe.
There you go. That's right, I'm leaving on the 18th. Jeez, I did a really good job there. I just absolutely spiraled. That shows you how much I'm enjoying my time in Montreal. Days do not matter in this place. But the icy conditions do. I very much am looking forward to seeing what this arena looks like. So we have confirmation. I feel like this is a pretty fair endpoint. Replaying round one, and you can choose whatever operator you may please. So
I wonder if that extends to site selection.
I believe
as well.
it's still. I believe sites are still locked. I mean, I just assume if our incredible production team have not mentioned that in the conversation. Well, I mean, we'll be able to see before the viewers. So. And you can change sites.
Yeah, that's fair.
That makes complete sense. So basically, we go back in, no preconceptions. All we know are what operators are banned, which means that we can focus heavily on the game at hand. Now, whether Secret decide to stick to their strat, if they decide to stick to their extensions or not, we'll leave that up for the gods to decide. I'd love to see it, honestly. I would love to see the confidence in your first round defense to have showcased the entire thing.
And do it again?
And go back and do it again. That's a Giga Chad move.
Yeah, you do that, you win the round. I think you've just
That's
completely
the mental.
chalked liquid.
That's the mental.
GG.
That would be a very interesting outcome. I mean, surely at this point we do it. I can see that the server has been started, so alas, you do not have to wait by any longer. We are getting back underway with Bank. Again, a crucial match for both of these teams. Should they lose, they've got a number of teams waiting for them in the final game of the major. You've got teams like Virtus Pro, Black Dragons, Sonics, and of course, the mighty, mighty Chiefs.
The mighty Chips.
And obviously Dark Zero and Space Station are still going head-to-head at the moment to see which team will ultimately be eliminated here on the penultimate Swiss day. Day 5 of the major. This is going quick.
Oh, I can. Well, I can't leak to the people at home even if I wanted to, but I can show you. I can show you what the stage looks like.
Oh my days.
And for those at home, I am not trolling. I am currently showing Rob J Monday a legitimate photo of the stage.
It's quite beautiful.
Does actually look.
I
pretty
reckon. I reckon that is going to suit a bald head. What do you reckon? You go bald with me? Remember back in the day when we used to have fun and we used to shave heads at the same time?
I am quite alright.
I think we both got the buzz cut when D Plus won their when they were DM1 gaming.
Yeah.
I think they.
Is that Mexico?
Yeah, I think it was. It was a
Jeez.
fair minute ago now. Fortunately, we're in Montreal. Completely different time zone. Actually, I don't even know how far off it is anyway. I'm burying myself into a hole right now. We'll see how Liquid approach this. We haven't even talked about the site yet, but for those of you watching and not listening to the waffle, you will already know that it is top floor. So Secret have... No, it's not top floor. My word. This is why I'm a sub. I thought I was ready, coach, but I am indeed not. Archives tellers for the first defense here for Secret. Wait to see how Liquid decide to approach this one.
So 2 minutes on the clock and the castle extension above here from Groovy. And we'll see how Liquid look to try and break this one down. Double repel employed over towards CEO. And some extended hard breach to try and deal with the key barriers up close.
Jesus.
Wow, that was a...
Oh my god, it's happened again, Michael! You can't stop it! It just everywhere you look, it's like a whisper.
Wait, what? A
Team
whisper?
Secret. Ah, it's a secret. It's a little bit of wordplay for you.
I do like when you play with me. Why are you giggling?
I'm not. I'm just recomposing.
Oh,
I tell
okay.
you what, Liquid are going to have to recompose after that round, because what on God's green earth is that? Secret obliterate Liquid in yet another mind-boggling round to kickstart Bank.
Yeah, look, Secret taking no chances with the server crashing again and getting that round over the line in a much faster fashion. Good work overall, and just being able to contest those gunfights over towards the top floor in a very successful fashion. Not really a whole ton to analyze from that particular round, so we'll move.
Oh, really?
We'll move on to the next on the top floor.
Big shocker.
Yeah. Scopos in play. A big belt of utility with the Azami Castle combination, which will help to make the top floor a little bit more playable against the Repel.
Yep.
Mirror also will be in play, and that can be used to really help lock down the likes of Janitor, for instance. Throw the Echo into the mix, and yeah, I really quite do enjoy this comp from Secret. Now, in response, Liquid will bring forth quite a few repicks, probably most notably Carly and dropping the shield. So probably sensing that the util dump is going to have to be pretty big here from the attack. You have the Lancers, you have the impacts from Zofia, as well as those pallets from Habana. And that's a pretty spicy shell from Adrian. So one down below on the run out over towards Garage, and the other up above on site.
That's surely going on drone. That's going unnoticed. That could pay dividends. That could pay absolute dividends, provided Liquid aren't quick enough to the site. From bottom to top square, Nesk has control now. So not putting any attention to his immediate access. Spotting the deployable shield. Decide better of continuing to progress up square. All in all, Liquid have made some pretty good progress just in the first minute. They've got a fair bit of control coming into this. But that's some very nice information for Virtue.
Yeah, Liquid will posture this buck down below and may aid in some of the vert clear, probably most notably Jan. At the moment though, just playing the fringe and looking to cut down on the utility. Habana pallets at range to help expose this stock hallway position, and the deployable shield now a little less playable for Doom. Controlled shot square and freebie for Nesk.
I felt as though before they had a feeling, or at least an inkling, that Nesk was over there. I guess Doom just thought he was safe to cross. It's a pretty devastating play to lose, as now you've got a little bit more access in the stock, and that side of the map starts to become a little bit of point of contest. Liquid now putting attention across to the repels. Secret going down on side. I don't think that's potential for Adrian is going to play a lot of dividend and pay a lot of dividends unless he makes a move very soon.
So then 45 seconds on the clock here for Team Liquid. They do have the man advantage, but positionally perhaps a little bit weaker than they would otherwise want. Palu in through ATM. Might be the pinch pressure up the staircase. Push to come through from resets with the SMG in hand. Able to find that pick. 30 seconds on the clock, and the repel is successful, at least for Nesk, to get a bit of ground. Meanwhile, Lagonis, still with diffuser in hand, will vault into front desk from here, trying to get this plant on the ground. Will do so successfully, at least begin the plant. But the coverage, I was going to say it's good, but maybe not good enough. Lagonis, meanwhile, still able to stick, and the fights do come through. A 2 versus 2, 40 seconds on their counter defuse, and just like that, Team Secret again with another successful retake on defense.
What is going on with these retakes? I mean, a 5 versus 4, Liquid have complete site control. There's minimal, and I mean minimal, avenues for Secret to get back into position. Savage, though, honestly, Savage is the linchpin in that round, pushing back around CEO for a quick 2K. You'll be kicking yourself not killing Savage in that position. But again, like, this happens. These things happen. But how that unfolds is utterly devastating if you're a Liquid fan. Coming off the back of Border, that is the last thing you want to be seeing in the opening 2 rounds. And a flurry of kills in the first round to annihilate your attack into a post plant, a 5 versus 4 again. That makes 9 attempts on plants and only 3 converted. 6 defusers here in this series alone.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think I've seen that many ever in a series. Really impressive from Secret. And for Liquid, very much feels like they are losing a bit of touch in this particular series. An opportunity here on the tertiary. Back, pardon me. Jeez, I couldn't reach the cough button in time for that one. Back to open area.
Too much, mate.
Open area for the 3rd round, which was the, I guess, proverbial opening round in the series, which was cut short by the tech. It was a rather even round when the crash did occur, 2 versus 2, so this one plays out.
That we will. Hoping for a bit more success here for Liquid, even just trying to find some open piece. They've really just not had a lot of luck in the last 2 games alone. Opting for the Monty, something a little bit more direct for Liquid on these roam clears. The Secret, no forward pressure just yet. A little swing from Tallers will give away the position. Turn Liquid's attention very early on. As Monty's just going to continue to press forward.
Well, opening kill. This time to Team Liquid. Palu able to find Doom, big pick. And we'll see now if Liquid can get some value from the Monty here on the top floor. Castle Barricade stands in the way of Lagonis, and a frag grenade from Maya will be utilized to help clear that. The path forward now available for Monty. Secret in response don't really contest all too aggressively, instead will happily fall off.
Yep.
Well, I say happily, but a player down, they're still not in the best of positions.
They're not, but they have wasted 2 minutes of Liquid's time as they continue to push the issue on this top floor. Definitely keep an eye on that as the round progresses. Our main. We know of the player on tier 1 stairs. That's a scary prospect. And he's going to push up. He's going to get aggressive Adrian with a really nice swing. There's no chance for a retrade here for Liquid. But at least they know where he is. They've locked him into place. Liquid now vying for some control across toward Towers. Resets will open things up a little more nicely. Adrian, some unfortunate timing and a little jiggle peek from Resets will take the attention from Secret. And on that, it will probably take the round. Ruby, the last player standing to stop the onslaught. Liquid, they bounce back. And after, I think it's 8 rounds straight, they finally cracked that egg.
Yeah, Team Liquid finally having something to get excited about. The drought has finally come to an end. And overall, a pretty well played round. I like some of the ideas they employed over towards top floor. Got good value from the Monty. Flushed out Secret, forced them down below. And to play it down, we saw Liquid actually able to take advantage of that particular position. So round 4 now. And oddly enough, the first time we're going to see Basement played out. With the smoke unavailable, it's rather likely that we'll see Secret go for a roam, I would imagine. And we'll see how this one shapes out.
Now, of course, simultaneously, a game on the A stream. Dark Zero playing SSG at the moment. That is indeed an elimination match. If you're an NA fan, you're not too happy with how this is going so far. Regardless, Dark Zero are up 1-0 in the series as they head to their own map of Chalet. They're currently up 1-0 on that too, on a defensive start. So definitely a multi-view moment.
DZ are up.
DZ are up. SSG are lost, I believe that is Consulate, 7-5 to start the series. So that's not going to be a lot of fun. Alas, we keep our attention here on the B stream. As I said, little multi-view moment. Pull them both up. You got an elimination match and a qualifying match, so it doesn't get much better than this when it comes to the majors. Well, it does. But that'll have to wait for the arena.
I was going to say, I hope it gets better.
I hope it does too.
Not that it's been bad. But. So round 4, Basement defense and a roam employed. 2 players on the top floor, Savage and Groovy. And the Monty to greet them. Bonus will charge forward and clear the space. Savage will spot one. And perhaps trying to find the second. Almost gets caught out. Almost gets baited. But too good against Nesk, who's been rather hot and cold in this match.
He certainly has. Only 4 kills on map 2 after having an unbelievable map 1, Groovy. You know the players were just there. Yeah. Your teammate just found the kills. Otherwise, it happens. Groovy with a really nice pick over toward lobby. And Secret, once again, are in a position of advantage. Liquid are really struggling at the moment in the last 2 maps to try and find openings that are meaningful. They found openings, but they haven't turned out very favorable for them. Flank as well from Virtue. Well, not really a flank, is it? But should he decide to progress around the corner and get a little bit of extra information? No need. No one's over there for it.
So the secondary hard breach then uncontested with Qaid banned. And so all 3 hatches open so far. Maybe the 4th of gold will be left untouched. 45 seconds on the clock. Lagonis drops the hatch in through elevator and they'll look to posture for a back hit.
Oh, gee, Secret found out real quick, didn't they? The entire attention of Secret diverted. Palu trying to get rid of the barbed wire, gets slapped around. And so continues the form from Secret here. They've looked the better of the 2 teams over the last 2 maps, and if Liquid don't find their feet soon, they will find themselves having to play on a last day of a Swiss format, which again, it's going to be brutal.
Tactical timeout, Team Liquid. Probably unimpressed as to how this map has developed so far. Staff and open area was relatively clean. Unfortunately though, each of the other 3 objectives here on Bank, they have yet to find success. Can't quite hear what they're saying, and even if I could, I would not be able to translate, but I would
Really?
be intrigued to know what they're talking about.
You don't speak the native tongue?
Yeah, my Portuguese is
Little wonky?
rudimentary at best.
What have you got?
Vamos. That's about it. That is about it.
Oh, that's a good throwback.
And I can tell you that Liquid are not very Vamos at the moment.
They are not Vamos at all. They wouldn't be happy with what they're seeing at the moment, although we're making light of the situation. There is a dire state of affairs here for the Brazilian roster. They've got a lot to make up for. And Secret are well and truly pushing on here in this series. They're leaving them for... I mean, they are leaving them for dead. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the impression, especially if they struggle off the back of this tack timeout, that this could be a bit of a runaway for Secret, which, cast your mind back to the first map, it did not feel like this was going to be a great day at the office for Secret.
That was first half for the second map even. You could have said, this has still got legs in it.
Yeah.
So many of those rounds came down to the wire. So many of them in post-plant situations that spiraled out of control for Liquid. And, I mean, unfortunately, the trend is just following here. There's been a couple of close rounds, if you cast your mind back to round 2. Post-plant that just doesn't work out. There's been a lot of reoccurring themes here in this series, which is, I guess that's also a concerning sign. Things aren't adapting quick enough. And when you're only, from here on out of the tournament, you're only going up against the best of the best, it's not a great sign.
Well, let's see how Liquid respond off the back of the tack. They bring IQ into the Valk, and some of that info is spotted out. And in the meantime, the Havana getting work over towards Kanto. Echo also in play, and so Maya will have his hands full in looking to try and shut down this information as best that he can. 2 minutes on the clock. I think they'll be rather content with the position that they find themselves in at the moment. A lobby take from Liquid. What?
Why can I hear Ashen on my broadcast?
I don't think we're even hearing Ashen on the broadcast. We're just hearing Ashen IRL.
Literally
through about 3 floors.
through literally just floors upon floors of concrete. Yeah. Makes good sense. IQ making good use. I have, although it's failed in the last round and, you know, it hasn't been fantastic, I'm actually a fan of the Monty. If they can continue to try and push these players back, it certainly made them uncomfortable.
No.
Palu with unfortunate timing. The rest of Liquid were not there, and Virtue has swung to help June stay alive. This is really just going from bad to worse. The timings here for Liquid are just slightly off, and in that millisecond, Secret are capitalizing again and again and again. Nesk is all that remains here to stop a flawless round. He's done that just so far, but in a 1 versus 3, he cannot get further. What a mind-boggling moment here for Liquid.
Yeah, that's really clean from Team Secret, as you said. A couple of mistimings from the attack, but only, you know, minute at best. It was really just good counterplay from Secret. Doom inside of Elevator, huge difference maker. Was able to shut down the Amaru. There was good, you know, counter pressure onto the Monty as well, combined with the 2 Barrel. It split up the attack so nicely, and Secret able to isolate so many favorable ones that Liquid were really never in a position to win out, and there was no serious split pressure on offer either. So clean work again from Team Secret. It's a tactical timeout not converted by Team Liquid, and I think it's very realistic now to set the expectation that Secret are maybe on for a rather dominant final map.
It'd be a disappointing end to a series that has been close, that has had its back and forth moments. It's been exciting, it's been fun, but Liquid are not enjoying themselves anymore. Since the turn of the second half on Border, the tone has dramatically dropped, and for good reason. Secret have really taken control of this. They've taken the steering wheel with both hands, and it just gets even worse. No, Savage, Savage. Okay, clean it up. You've got an opportunity now. Oh my God.
That has got to be a contender for the worst whiff at the tournament. You're going to have to whiff real hard to beat that.
Shout out Spruce from host, but that is up there. That is a contender. That may well be one of the worst plays I've seen for a while, unfortunately. But, I mean, you're up so heavily in the series. You're playing aggressive for Secret. I don't mind it. You've got rounds to play with. However, I mean, if this ends up being a close game, you're really going to look back at that and go, why did I do that? This is for a quarterfinal match It's not some early round game in the series. We're not going all the way back to the start of the major. This is now at a critical point, a critical juncture for both of these teams. Surely Virtue and Adrian don't make this work.
Nah.
I've seen stranger things happen in this series, Michael.
Yeah. Have you heard the story?
I have heard the story, but I'm not sure I've heard it with an SMG-11 in hand. Not on this occasion.
An ace finesse.
Oh, hello.
By the way, if you missed it.
Don't mind if I do.
Almost missed that harder than the jump out.
That was shocking. That was abysmal. You can put them on display.
I'm pretty sure he didn't land a single shot, right? Pretty certain.
Maybe one, maybe. But that was. I think I will quote one of the greatest all-time analysts and just say that was honking.
That was honking.
That was absolutely shocking. That's a tough one to rewatch. You will not want to ever look at that again. A moment of joy for Liquid, though. They get given somewhat of a freebie. Nesk actually found a really quick kill right before that player jumped out. So that turn... that turned the round entirely on its head, and now Secret are... Well, they've given Liquid a way back into this. And again, just like with how short each half is. I know it goes for a while, but it's only 6 rounds. You can't afford to be giving up a 5-1 lead like that. Will it bite them?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see what the Liquid have to offer defensively here on Bank. I think I'm getting called out for saying Vamos and maybe being incorrect.
I'm not Portuguese.
Apparently the context in which I use it means that I don't know Portuguese. I don't know. Well, I never claimed to know it, to be fair.
Well, technically, if you think about the conjunction of the word Vamos. Well, Michael, just don't ever try to have nice things. You just... Unfortunately, it's the issue with a stale voice like yours. People can't tell when you're joking when you're being serious. But Doom, once again, a big component of these opening entries for Secret. Taking down Maya of all players. Things really are not going Liquid's way at the moment. May get worse. It is going to get worse.
Not very Vamos for Liquid. Lagona's 5 HP and on the verge of a 0-5 for him. Palu, bot blue, shotgun in hand, but is droned out. Double Goyo canisters at the top of the staircase, and he may be able to stall out some time, but he is playing for his life at this point in time with the hatch now opened up. That being said, he may have been able to maneuver back towards site with a bit of timing, but instead will hold the bottom of the staircase. 2 Candelas for Savage. 70 seconds on the clock. Secret should be able to clear this.
Should and can. 2 different things. Using a lot of the Candelas at the moment to apply the pressure. Really lovely from June. He's been quite good this last map. He's really, again, been Secret's turnkey for opening up the vast majority of these rounds. To further compound that conversation, 3 out of 5 attempts have been converted on the opening kills, and Secret are looking well and truly the better of the 2 on Bank, and have done since the first map. Since the second map of Border.
Things are going from bad to worse then for Liquid. And I would say as well, it's funny in the post round there, the X factor that Secret have with the Brazilian coach is Twister can just yell the most obscene thing in Portuguese at the top of his lungs, and the other team will understand it. They can just pick it up to a new level. I love it. But they have every right, I think, to be pretty chatty at the moment and chirpy. It's a substantial lead, and one that I'm finding it tricky to make the case that Liquid can overcome.
Yep.
Top floor for the 8th round. Util heavy from Liquid with the Castle and the Azami combo. The Warden perhaps spotted by Secret, and they repick off the Yin. And so we'll focus on the Monty here for this round. May indicate a lobby push, but certainly not exclusive to that playstyle. You can utilize the Monty elsewhere over towards top square through Jan if you want. So we'll see what kind of approach they go for. They also have the double specialist drones as well, Brava and Flores. Again, probably in the face of all this utility, they need tools to deal with that. And the Brava, a nice option as well to hack default cameras like lobby. There's also going to be 2 BPCs on offer as well that he can try and find.
Run!
He's trying to get out of that.
Yeah, that's quite fortunate. That is quite fortunate as the rest of Secret trying to open up some of these areas and already apply early pressure for Liquid. Pivotal part of the early rounds here on Bank is ensuring that Liquid don't have their lay of the land. Again, if you're looking for an individual that is most likely to be in those opening engagements, just wait to see where June ends up. So after the full use of the drones, that's probably where we'll see some shenanigans, as once again, he will shoulder to shoulder with Savage, who is on the Monty. Not bad for a C4, nice little try, and unfortunately, same story continues. They're going to go and send it in off this as well. Liquid unprepared. At least Lagonis finds one. Can they get more done? No. Savage will pop off, and Palu has nothing left in this one. Secret are looking absolutely devastating if you are a Brazilian fan.
Yeah, Liquid continued to test the waters with a couple of different ideas, but nothing's really sticking. And that's a frustrating feeling as a team and as individual players when you're trying different ideas and just seemingly none of them are working. It leaves you in a rough position. Like the first Nitro below, unsuccessful. The util stack site not offering much in the way of protection. Secret breaking it down bit by bit. Now with 4 series points, 4 more opportunities in regulation to book themselves a spot on the main stage.
Secret brought it back from 3-6. Can Liquid mount a comeback? X for doubt. Type X in Twitch chat. There's some Twitch chat interaction. Throwing it back to year 2020. It's just not looked convincing enough. It's not looked good enough. And whether that's Secret outpowering, outmuscling Liquid, outsmarting Liquid, I don't know if I can say. I don't think I'm qualified to say, if I'm being completely honest with you.
No, you're
Michael,
definitely not. You're definitely not.
All I can say is the final 2 maps have been a no-show and a no-contest. And there we go. Nesk shows him how it's done. If you're going to run out, that's how you make it work. And he can just burn time here. I mean, he's got absolutely no need to peek. He's still going to do it. Have a bit of fun with it. And looks like Savage is going to make his way back. Again, just burning some time. First 30 seconds of the round, you've lost a player. You've had to go and find him.
A cheeky grin as well from Savage, utilizing the blitz outside. So it does stabilize things. It's a 4 versus 4. In terms of the trade, Liquid have been able to take off some active utility from the Ram. Those Vault Camrys presumably already pre-placed, and so that's not too bad for Liquid. Plenty of time on the clock for Secret, of course, to recuperate. And the Brava looking to get to work and deal with some of this utility, most namely the Valkyrie.
Hello. Not in a position. Not in a position. Now, all is well that ends well if you're Liquid, provided you can make this convincing, provided you can push the distance. Conversations change a little. Obviously it won't change dramatically, but still have high hopes. Bit of an entry for Savage. The bottom of square. Will he go undetected, unnoticed? He's just going to send it directly into Archive. Where are Liquid? What do they do here? How do they make this possible? We have seen
nobody's watching through the vert. You have
they can't find him either. It's just gone from bad to worse consistently here for Liquid. At least they find themselves 2 picks, but that doesn't mean the round's over. That doesn't mean they can find their way back in. Secret on quarterfinal point. They've got 30 seconds to play with, and right now Liquid are not in great positions. Doom with a free kill at the bottom of square. He'll tuck himself away. Maya goes down, and Resets is the last member remaining. Liquid's hope is all but on a prayer and a dream. 3 seconds, it won't matter. Secret, they close this out and secure their place in the quarterfinals of the Montreal Major.
Gee whiz, Team Secret will join